How's everybody doing? I really enjoying this weather we've been having here in Ohio. To have the winter, as mild a winter as we've had here in central Ohio this year has been awesome. And it makes driving between Columbus and Cleveland to get between my place and my brother's, where our layout is, that much easier. Hey, I guess you guys might have seen a video I ran last week, actually, on the Pan Am SD40-2 that I got from Stockyard Express, from Clyde and Stockyard Express. And, well, I made the decision to go back and get that second one. I gave Clyde a call yesterday, make sure he still had it, and he said, well, you went ahead and somebody came in and mentioned you and said they saw it, and you were talking about it, and so they bought it. So that's cool. Somebody must have seen the video and, I don't know, felt the same way about the locomotive I did. I was pretty stoked about it. So, hey, cool. I told Clyde that I'd put it on the channel, and I'm happy that somebody saw it and went in and bought it. So, in any respect, that was the only other one he had. He only bought a pair of those, or only had a pair of them. So I'm going to go back in and see what else that he has that I might have some interest in. There's a couple items I know of that I might be interested in. I've got some stuff for sale. So I figured I'd kill two birds with one stone. I figured I spoke to Clyde, and he had some interest in some of the items I have for sale, maybe giving me some store credit, and obviously, which would defray the cost on anything I bought today. Or maybe not, if he doesn't decide that he could use anything for a resale for his store or wants any of it. I'll just take it up to the layout, and I'll make a video for Facebook Marketplace so that everybody can see the operation of this stuff. But traffic's a little bit thicker than I would have expected on a Saturday afternoon, driving up the I-71 corridor, but I'm right outside Ashland, Ohio right now, so I'm going to be coming up on my exit. From there, it's all pretty much back roads to Stockyard Express, but I'm going to shut it down for now. But when we get there, I'll try and get some video of the interior this time. The last time I was there, for whatever reason, the video really didn't turn out. So see you guys here in a minute. Hey guys, so in here at Stockyard Express, got a wall of Premier locomotives right here. It is now one locomotive short because me and Clyde made a deal. He's taken a few of my units that I have for sale, gave me some store credit, and getting a locomotive and some freight cars. And so if anybody's looking for some Union Pacific stuff or Pennsylvania stuff, look up Clyde. He'll have some very low mile, low time use stuff of mine that'll have available. Still has 3 of these Atlas SD40-2 PS3s, UP, Milwaukee Road, Chicago and Northwestern Falcon service version. Pretty nice. These Train Masters are absolutely gorgeous. He's got many different road numbers. The Akron Canton Youngstown is a custom run. I thought he had both colors. I don't know if he sold the yellow and black one. That's the blue one. Super cool though. Norfolk and Western high hood GP35, really nice. He's got Erie Lackawanna as a GP35 and an SD24, really cool. Florida East Coast, it's like a GP9, pretty nice. This Central New Jersey set is absolutely just beautiful. Looks like an F3 set. Up top, he's got an Atlantic Coastline set, really nice. B&O pair, AA pair, and also he's got a ABA set right there. He's got some B units up top. Really nice stuff. Down here in the middle, he's got some Lionel stuff. And boy, I'll tell you, a couple of these Lionel. You got a Class A. Is that a Texas right there? 210-4, Santa Fe, Texas. Pretty nice. Yeah, I got your. Really nice stuff. See a Penn Central RS27. I think that was a custom run with him and Can't remember if that was a custom run, if that's a standard run from Lionel. That should be legacy. Got some nice Rail King stuff too. MP15 AC right there is super sharp. Nice price, $350 for either. It was an MKT and a family line. Moorestown and Erie up top, pretty cool. Really like this this SW1500 right here is really nice. But yeah, check Clyde out, guys. Stockyard Express. Back here in the back room, that's where Clyde has all his freights. Got a wall of Rail King stuff. Some more Rail King items in the middle here. Got some older Weaver product. Lots of passenger cars here. And he's also below the back layout. Got all the boxed sets. Pretty nice. Over here on the, it's got a freight car, kind of wall of freight cars. Lot to choose from. Selection is absolutely incredible here. This wall wraps around. More Premier freight cars. Got a little kind of closeout table here. I think he's got, actually, on this closeout table, I saw these are pretty nice. He's got, looks like 7 of these RMT tankers for $30 a piece. That's not a hateful deal whatsoever. Got some MTH Premier stuff, you know, brand new in the box, in that $50-ish range. Wall of cabooses for all you caboose aficionados. And he's got some custom run wheeling and Lake Erie stuff over in the center of the store. Got a starting to build up a nice inventory of Atlas product. And he does have Lionel as well. In fact, my brother got a couple. Well, I picked them up for him while I'm here, Fast Track. He's got Atlas track. Some more Lionel stuff here in the back. So yeah, can't say enough good things about these guys. I feel like they're real good dudes. Just good train guys. You know when you're talking to business people, and you know when you're talking to train guys, and these are train guys. But okay, I know Clyde, actually I walked in, it got busy, so Clyde's probably writing me up. I'm gonna go ahead and get everything boxed up, make our exchange, and head up to the layout. Alrighty guys, heading back to my brother's. Clyde had some things he needed to take care of, so talk about a kid in a candy shop. Just kind of left all alone in the store there for a minute. Fortunately, I don't know, old Clyde might have been doing that on purpose, see if I could spend some more money. But no, I came away with a diesel that, a Protosound 3 SD40-2. It's actually an MTH. It's a new model that he's had on his shelf for some time. I got a great price on it. The reason I got it is because I actually have an MTH Canadian National SD40-2 that I bought from the MTH warehouse sale over a year ago, like almost a year and a half ago. And it was missing some parts. It's just getting the parts that I need has proven to be, well, impossible. And I really want to get that thing on the layout. As beautiful as that Ontario Northland paint scheme is, and I think it's a cool paint scheme. That's just not a road name that would realistically ever present itself in central or northeastern Ohio. So I'm going to shell swap those, and fortunately I think the fuel tank and the pilots have much the same yellow paint tones on the steps, so I don't think I'm going to have to do much, if any, custom painting. And then I'll use the Ontario Northland shell on that Canadian National chassis, and probably what I'm going to end up doing, I have the parts that I can turn it into a dummy, and if it's something my brother wants, I'll let him have it, or otherwise I'll probably just put it up for sale to recoup some of the money that I essentially spent on this transaction. So I ended up trading away some older Protosound 2 stuff that I had for sale. I traded away an SW1 switcher, an AS616 switcher, an older 5-volt Trainmaster Protosound 2. The first two were 3-volt Protosound 2 units. And I traded away an Interstate Alco RS3 Protosound 3 unit. I had bought all of those from estate sales, and they all performed flawlessly, and they had low miles and time on them. The SW1 had 1 mile on it, so it was essentially a new old stock unit for Clyde. But you know, Clyde got a little bit of the better of that deal, which I'm fine with. I mean, if you go into these stores expecting to beat these guys up, like you're trying to put them out of business, well, guess what? Eventually they'll go out of business if they do business that way. I owned my own business, and you know, they have to be able to make money. Some of that stuff I had for sale for a couple months, actually, or 6 weeks, and just didn't get any hits or bites on it. So I'm not going to use it. It does me no good in my closet. No, and I'm not questioning the people that collect their trains. I get it, man. Collecting is cool too. I like to run them. So if I can't run them, or if I don't have the interest in running them, it just doesn't make sense to keep them. I'd rather see them on somebody's layout, one of your layouts. You know, pulling cars, making videos on YouTube, making your kids happy, whatever the case may be. So he got those. I also picked up in that transaction, I essentially got a locomotive and 3 freight cars. I got another one of those all-door box cars, brand new Atlas, different road name, and my brother had seen a couple Lionel 52-foot gondolas that he really had his eye on, so I grabbed those. I'm heading back up to his place now. We'll get them on the layout, show everybody what we got. And got some other stuff planned too. Probably going to put out 2 videos from this trip up to the layout. So see you guys here shortly back at the layout. Well, all right, everybody, we're back at the layout. My brother and I have been doing a little work on the layout, but getting close to dinner time. So I figured give everybody a quick update on, you know, some of the most recent developments, what we've been doing, you know, since the last update. So up top there, getting a look at a total of 6 boxcars. Now, I already spoke and kind of showed you guys the Boston and Maine and the Elgin, Joliet and Eastern cars here in the middle. These are just 6 boxcars that I've just been weathering over the last week or two. And I kind of wanted to go for a little bit different look on all of them. So these first 2 that I brought to the layout on the last update, those are sort of mid-level weathering, starting to show some wear and some age, kind of dirty, a little bit grimy, been on the road for a couple years. Down here at the other end, this Weaver 50-footer, the Ashley Drew and Northern, and also this Weaver 40-footer, Bessemer and Lake Erie. I went with a little bit lighter weather, more of a sun-bleached effect, some road grime, but not too roughed up. Down at the other end is the other extreme. And I'm really pretty happy with how these turned out. Kind of slide them down a little bit so you guys can get a better look. This Illinois Central, this is a Weaver, this is a Lionel. This Illinois Central 40-footer, I really wanted it to kind of have, you know, a lot of wear on it, some rust formed. Put a texture effect on the roof, which is not going to show up in the video, but using some different weathering powders, pan pastels specifically, and some solvents, and then dull coating it over, giving it a nice, really textured effect. Really replicates rust well. And then down at the other end, well, I like crusty box cars. I know some people they just find it sacrilegious to weather cars up, but I really wanted one. And there's so much talent on the internet in terms of, you know, weathering and making these making these cars look the part. And that's really what I want, is some cars that look the part. You know, these things have a usable life of, 50 years or so. So, you know, just kind of want to replicate, you know, hey, I got something here on the layout that has been kind of being used for the better part of 4 or 5 centuries, right? That's a Lionel 50-foot double door box car, and took me a few days to do that one, and one of the most comprehensive weathering jobs I've done to date. It's got acrylics, oils. I used India ink. There's some powders. There's some airbrushing, mostly done by hand. But I'm really happy with the way it turns out. It's used some prototype photos to kind of emulate the look I was after, and you know, that's a box car that Lionel probably put out in the very late 90s, mid to late 90s. So again, didn't spend a ton of money on that car. If I totally jacked it up, which you really can't do, to be honest, when you're weathering these cars, don't be afraid to weather your cars, guys. You can't really mess them up. Now, oil paints, a little bit more permanent, but you're usually starting off with acrylics and then working up to the oils. So, you know, by about the time you're putting the oil paints on, you've already pretty much got the look you're after. And boy, I'm really happy with the way that one turned out. Some of you might disagree, and that's cool if you do. I get it. Some folks like their stuff to look brand new. And like I've said before, I think there's a place on a layout for some cars that look brand new and some stuff that looks totally like almost ready for the scrapyard and everywhere in between. So that's what we have. But just wanted to share that with you guys. Some of you might enjoy stuff like that. Some of you not so much. Why don't we get a look at what we picked up at Stockyard Express. So first thing we grabbed, my brother's already picked up. He already picked up one of these, and Clyde had 2 of them. My brother is dual road number adverse. So this is a Union Railroad. It's a Lionel 52.5-foot gondola. Really nice looking car. Union Railroad number 3163. Now my brother, Clyde had 2 of these at Stockyard Express. My brother bought the other one a couple weeks ago, and he actually renumbered it to 3168. So because he did that, he felt like, well, why don't I just go ahead and buy the other one? So while I was out there, I picked it up for him, and it's definitely a very nice looking model. Got removable steel coil loads in there. So he'll leave this one numbered 3163. So he'll have 2 of these. And the doors, the end panels, they pull out, Rand, or they fold down? They fold in?
I think they fold in.
Yeah, they fold in on these. Pretty cool. Collapsible end panels. So that's pretty cool. Union Railroad number 3163. And then the other one that he picked up, it's a matching, you know, it's a same car, but the Elgin, Joliet, and Eastern version of this car. Really nice looking car. I like the white on the end of it. Retail on these about $90. Clyde has it marked at 80, so a little over 10% off retail. And I would expect that that's pretty commensurate with what you'll find most retailers selling these for. Yeah, this one's really sharp. Pretty much where I've got these set up right now, down here in this area here where I have the towel. This is eventually going to be a metal recycling scrap yard facility. So we're gearing up for some gondolas. Carrying that scrap metal, hauled away the processed metal. Plus, we've got some other industries that are going to be using gondolas. But boy, these are really nice. Really good looking gondolas. Lionel did a nice job on these for sure. I mentioned in my last video how much I really liked these all-door box cars from Atlas, which is the old MTH Premier tooling. So, you know, the deal I made with Clyde, I basically ended up with some store credit, and I didn't really want to walk away with store credit or cash or anything like that. I pretty much told Clyde I wanted to come away with stuff for the layout. That's the whole reason I went there. So, you know, walked right back to where he had these stacked up, and he still has a nice amount of these that you can pick from. So I wanted one that was a little bit different than what I had picked out before. So I went with this this David J. Joseph unit. It's a David J. Joseph leasing unit. Man, pretty cool. Spring-loaded doors. Pretty cool car. Love the blue. The other one I got was red, so just wanted to have a little bit of difference between the two cars. Beautiful car. So the main reason I had gone back there, and I've mentioned it already, was after sleeping on that other SD40-2 that I chose not to buy. You know, I probably should have bought it. So made the decision a few days ago that if it was still there, I was going to go ahead and buy it. Well, when I called Clyde, he straight up told me that, no, somebody mentioned your video and came in and bought it on, well, they called in on the phone and more or less bought it over the phone. So, you know, we talked a little bit about the other things that he had there, and as I bump the camera, and you know, Clyde's got a very nice selection. So I said, you know, if you're interested in maybe doing some trading, I'm sure we can work something out. So he told me to come on up, bring my stuff. So I did, and we came to an agreement that I felt was mutually beneficial. I've got rid of some engines that I wasn't going to be running, and he has an opportunity. I'm pretty sure he got rid of one here that had been there for a minute, because this is actually an MTH PS3 unit, and it is one that I'm going to make some changes to. I'll explain to you what I'm going to do with it, or at least what my plans are for it. But pretty cool engine. And hopefully I don't get some hate. I don't get hate from people for what I'm going to do to this, but I'll explain it to you. So this is obviously, it's an MTH PS3 SD40-2 Ontario Northland, unit number 1733. So I actually have a Canadian National SD40-2 that I bought from the MTH warehouse sale that was missing some parts. And I bought that darn close to, about a year ago I bought it. It's been a year, and I still have not been able to get the parts I need to get that on the track. And I really want to get that Canadian National unit on the track. I think this Ontario Northland is a gorgeous, gorgeous paint scheme. And we'll get this on the tracks and run it around the layout. But I really want to get my Canadian National. I've been chomping at the bit to get my Canadian National on the road. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is just shell swapping these. There's going to be some very minor things I need to do in terms of, I don't know, I have to look and see if the Canadian National steps, I think they're white. I could be wrong. I got to look closely at the SD40-2 on the Canadian Nationals. But this being a PS3 unit, it's got LEDs. My Canadian National is a PS2 unit, so it's got regular halogen incandescent type bulbs. So I'm going to have to make sure that I can swap over bulbs and stuff. This guy has ditch lights. So, you know, the ditch lights, everything's going to be LED in this. So I'll make sure that it's feasible before I go tearing anything apart. But shell swaps are pretty easy to do. Everything should line up between these two. It's the same tooling. So, you know, the board itself, there's some sub boards on the PS2 stuff. It's a little different than PS3. But that's my intentions. But in any case, sure is a good looking unit. Let me get the foams off this. Let's get it on the tracks and run it around the layout, see how she does.
See you soon.
Well, there you have it, guys. Another Protosound 3 SD40-2 coming to the layout. Looks a little bit different now than the next time you'll see it, but great performer either way. I think this one spent I have to look up when this was run. I think it spent a little bit of time on Clyde's display shelf, so I lubricated the gears, but I think I'm gonna probably just the grease ports on the bottom of this one are readily accessible, so I think I'm gonna put a little bit of fresh grease in the worm gears. It kind of ran a little bit, almost like it wants a little bit more lubrication, so not a big deal. Happy to do that. I enjoy maintaining these things. So hey, just wanted to give you guys a quick look at the new stuff. Pretty excited to get it into the collection. Hope you guys have enjoyed this little product update and you know, the new additions and some of the changes we made to the rolling stock. Going to get you an update on the layout itself here shortly, and then we have a little something special planned for this weekend. For those of you that are into East Coast railroading, it's pretty kind of a big weekend for those of us that grew up on the East Coast. So gonna get have a little bit of fun and get that up on the channel as well. Hey, hope everybody's having a great day. Sure do appreciate you visiting us here at the Lake Erie Midwestern. Happy railroading, everybody, and take care.